I'm Rebecca.
And I'm Hunter.
This is the Family Show!
Howdy folks, welcome back to my top 100 games of all time. I'm Hunter.
I'm Rebecca.
And let's get to the list. Let's see what we got going on this time.
What are we doing?
40 to 31.
The 30s. Ooh, we're getting down to the good ones.
There's some good games coming up.
I was going to say, this is
There
like the
is
best
some
of the best.
good games coming up. We got 2 new games, 6 games that went down, 2 games that went up.
It's kind of what you expect in the
Why
30s.
did they go up? We'll see.
I'm going to guess plays and expansion. Those are my top 2 reasons.
That's usually the reasons. My number 40. I just played this game a few days ago. And that is...
A few days ago?
Airlines Europe.
Oh, that's right.
I taught some people this at BGCon.
Nice.
They seemed to enjoy it.
Very
and
cool.
I did as well. This
Very fun game.
Airlines Europe, it's kind of Ticket to Ride-ish. You're basically you're collecting stocks of different airlines, and you're trying to increase the values of the airlines that you have the most stock in. You do that by building routes on a board, connecting routes across the map in Europe, and obviously Airlines Europe.
No way.
So it's simple. It's one of those games that's super simple. You basically get one action. You can do one of, I think, 4 different things. You pick what you want to do, you do it, and you move on to the next person. And the turns just go like this, like an airplane flying around. Okay, I'll stop.
Wow! Oh, that was awful.
Stock market game, economic game, just a fun little... it has a ticket to ride mechanism in terms of where you have a display of stocks, and you can either take one off the display or take a random off the top. So
Super quick turns.
Super quick turns, easy to play, easy to teach. I taught this in 10 minutes maybe. Everyone had a great time.
Yeah, this is a good one. This is surprisingly light for your top games.
I think the fact that it has stock market and economy has something going, helping it push
True.
up the list.
I can
But
see
it
that.
did drop 14 places from last year, so
Like a rock.
it
No, just
is
kidding.
dropping. But I love it.
You've had this on your list
This,
forever.
I mean, basically the group of players said, "Hey, well, what should we play?" And this is the one I went to, so that must mean I like it, right?
Yeah, exactly. Oh, it's a goodie.
Anyway,
Such
my
a good
number 40, Airlines Europe.
Good choice, good choice.
Oh no, you know what it's time for?
Number 39.
Another failed.
What?
Number 39.
Okay.
It is a Bruges.
Really? This? Ooh.
It dropped. It was 33 last year. It only dropped 6 places, so it's
Okay.
holding strong
Excellent.
against heavy competition.
That's true.
One of my favorite fails. What? What are you laughing about?
You and your alliterations.
Favorite fails. It's one of those games that has cards with multiple uses, and it has like
Oh my gosh.
6 uses
20?
per card.
20 uses, it seems like. You're going, which one should I use it for? So good.
Got all kinds of things going on. You're trying to build buildings. You're trying to put people in those buildings. You're trying to have the most prestige, I think it is, on a prestige track. You're trying to build canals. It is point salad at its saladness. And you're rolling dice. And use those dice, draft those dice to take actions. It's a community dice. Everyone uses the dice.
Aren't you avoiding plague in this one too?
There is. It is
Told
a
you there's a theme with
punitive
him with plagues.
It's punitive. I think they're diseases.
It's plague. Punitive plagues. We're going to stick with the alliteration.
Is it curses?
I don't remember.
Diseases?
Oh my gosh, here we go.
Bad things happen.
Wow.
Another great midweight failed. Works well with 2 players.
Fantastic with 2.
Takes about an hour to play. Just a really great feld. I wouldn't necessarily say this would be an introductory feld because there's
So much going on with those
there's
cards.
lots of things
True.
that you can do with the cards.
You'd stall
But this is one of the early ones we got. because it
It is.
was on the list last year, so that means we've had it for a while.
Yeah.
So,
You get much more salad, you're going to have to bring some dressing. That's all I'm saying.
oh my gosh.
That's pretty salady.
I think I'm going to take an airplane and get out of here.
Oh! Full circle, everybody.
Number 39, Bruges.
Oh, man.
So number 38 is one that went up the list because...
Plays?
No.
Expansion.
Expansion.
I knew it was one
We got
of
an
those.
expansion for Istanbul.
Ooh, excellent. Oh, this game is so good. So good, so good, so good.
I like me some Istanbul. Now look, this has the same 2014. This is the one that won.
Because it says Kinderspiel. Ah, so Concordia was a
Yeah.
runner-up. For those of you that watched the last episode, we were trying to figure out what was going on. It said
It was,
Kinderspiel.
it was nominated, but Istanbul
Lederhosen.
won.
Yeah, this one.
14.
Yes.
Anyway, just a great, it's kind of worker placement-ish.
Well, yeah.
But basically,
Especially-
you have a board that's just all these tiles all over the place, and you can set it up however you want. They have a standard setup, but you also can randomize it, and you're trying to based on those tiles, find the most efficient ways to collect gems. Or basically, it's a race to collect a certain number of gems based on the number of players. And there's many different ways that you can do it. There's many different ways to earn gems. So you're just trying to find the best, most efficient way based on, what you're doing and what you have going on and what cards you get and things like that to race to get those gems first.
Or you can send your crooked nephew to do it for you. This game has a crooked nephew that you can send on errands.
And we got the expansion we got was
I don't make this up. This is amazing.
The coffee expansion, I think it's called. Mocha and
Mocha latte.
the heck?
Bangladesh? What?
Bakshish. I'm not sure
Oh
what
man,
bakshish
don't
is.
give him foreign words. What just happened?
We got an expansion.
We have also the cute little. We haven't played him yet.
What is going on?
This little camel. You play with him. Oh. Come on. There's all these great little.
So Euro fineness, yeah,
What?
Euro greatness.
Huh.
But it's a racing game, and it boils down to a race to try to achieve a goal.
Oh
first.
my gosh, this game. I love the fact that the tiles can be moved around, so that every game is going to be different. And so some of the stuff like the post office or whatever, you might use that a lot for different things. Well, it's not going to be near the stuff the next game you play, so you have to completely remap your strategy, and you may have to use your crooked nephew.
Oh geez,
That's my favorite thing about this game. It's hilarious.
It's called a family member. I don't think
Whatever.
it says nephew.
It does. I thought it said nephew or cousin in the rule book.
Maybe
Either
it
way,
does.
we thought it was hysterical, and we're sticking with it. I don't care. That was funny.
So my number 38, it was 50 last year. Istanbul.
Yeah, that expansion was pretty awesome.
Yeah, it kind of.
And playing it more. The more we play it, the more I like that game.
All right.
I don't know. That's a good place
Gotta
for
pump
it.
up for this one. Here we go.
Oh, we got another heavy hitter.
All right.
So it's not the Gallerist.
It's new to the list.
It's new.
It is. Oh my gosh, help me. A bunch of cardboard.
Oh,
Feast for Odin.
Feast of
Look at
cardboard.
the thickness of that box. Anyway.
my head for scale. No, seriously, this is ridiculous.
Feast for Odin. This is
More cardboard than I've ever
Tetris
seen.
the Euro game.
In a Norse theme.
So basically what Feast for Odin is, it's kind of a culmination of a bunch of his games. Uwe Rosenberg's games. Basically, he's got Patchwork, which is super light, but it uses that mechanism where you're putting tiles on the board and you're trying to arrange them where they're like Tetris pieces. You're trying to fit them all together, right?
We'll just call it the Tetris mechanism.
The Tetris mechanism. Feast for Odin, you have boards like in Patchwork that you're putting goods on, but then there's basically a Caverna-esque Euro game wrapped around that where you're going out and you're getting goods or trading goods for other goods and upgrading goods from basic goods to more valuable goods, and you're filling out boards. And as time goes by, if you do well, you can draft more and more boards, and you filling out all those boards to make the most victory points.
But on top of that, they're picky eater Vikings, and their food can't touch. So certain ones can't touch the other ones. And am I wrong?
Yes, you have to feed your people, and you have to feed them in a very specific way. your meats cannot touch your veggies.
I didn't know Vikings
your meat
were
cannot
picky.
Meat can't touch meat, and veggies can't touch veggies.
Yeah, I don't understand because I thought they were just like nah, and threw it all on the floor.
It's a banquet table. You gotta it's a feast for Odin. You have to have proper presentation.
That's Odin gives points for presentation. This is
But
great.
anyway, this is a.
I want to do a Food Network style review of Feast for Odin now.
So
this game is awesome
But
because
what-
it's like a brain burner.
But
with all these...
what will blow you away? Let's see. If we can,
Oh, is the 20 trays of different
well,
things?
that's interesting itself.
These are great. We did not make these. These came with the game. The inserts are fantastic for this game. Until you pop the wrong lip part of it. But
no, what I'm trying to show them
look at this.
is
This is so cool.
the worker placement piece.
Oh goodness. This. Oh.
There's like 60 different places that
for
you
you
can
to
put your
choose.
worker. Yeah.
This is not for the faint of heart.
I'm never getting this box closed again. I don't know what I was thinking.
So, chuck it on the floor. No, I was just kidding. Oh my gosh, what just happened?
All right, so we'll take this up later.
So, the next game is watch.
Oh, wait.
Wow, like magic.
That's
That's with the inserts that came with the game, people. Well played, Uwe.
Feast
Well played,
For
Z-Man.
Odin, it is Tetris, the heavy Euro game.
Fantastic.
That was my number 37, new to the list. One of the 2 new ones to the list.
So good. That's tasty Norse goodness.
So we're getting up on the list. You know what that means?
Tasty, yummy goodness.
It's time for another feld.
Already?
Castles of Burgundy.
What? I'm beginning to worry about
my
the
number
stats.
36.
How many felds are left?
Not many.
Yeah. Wow. I'm amazed. Okay.
My number 36, Castle of
This is
Burgundy. It dropped
such a
13 spots from 23 to 36. Still a great,
Oh, it's amazing
great feld
Awesome
game.
game.
This may be, in my opinion, what should be your first feld.
Yes, I can see that.
This
I can
should
completely
this
see
should
that.
be your first feld. There's lighter felds, but I don't think you get as much feldy goodness in the lighter ones. This is probably one of the lighter ones that still feels like a feld game, right? There's
Totally.
lighter ones like Isla.
Well, Isla's very light.
And Jorvik is probably lighter, but Jorvik doesn't really feel feldy, and neither is La Isla, in my opinion.
Yeah, for what like the heart of the feld, most of the feld games feel like.
Yeah.
I can get that. I can totally.
But anyway, Castle of Burgundy is a dice roll. You roll dice. You use those dice to take actions. You're basically the base of the game is you're drafting tiles that you're going to eventually put on your board. And you're trying to collect different groupings of tiles. So if you complete a section, there's different regions in your board. You have like pasture land that has animals in it, and you have forest, and you have castles, and you have mines, and you have all these different places. And they're kind of your board before you put the tile on has what areas different tiles go, and you're trying to complete those areas as quickly as possible to get bonus points, and you draft buildings that give you powers, and in the end it's just point salad goodness.
It is really good. I love this game, and just the fact that you're building your own little kingdom and raising 27 chickens. You always get me. There's the animal bonuses and stuff, so if you put some animals out there, if you pick the same animals, you get more points for how many other animals there are. And for some reason, there's always like a chicken explosion on Hunter's farmland over there.
I branch off to pigs occasionally.
That's true. It's hilarious. There's some fun little touches. The art's fun on the little tiles.
I just like the dice rolling because it's...
The dice is actually cool.
When you roll the dice, it kind of focuses you in. Okay, what can I do with the dice, and what's the most efficient way? You just don't have the full scope. Like, oh, I have all these different things I can do. It kind of narrows your range. Okay, this is my dice. These are the different actions. How am I going to combo these in the most efficient way to try to achieve what I'm trying to achieve?
And this is the second best cover you'll ever see on a board game.
What, Concordia beats it?
Well, apparently you said so.
Yeah.
See previous videos.
Oh my gosh. Castles of Burgundy. Anyway. It has a Euro game cover, that's for sure. So Castles of Burgundy, my number 36. Good feld.
Oh, it's very solid.
If you ever played the feld, grab this one and try
That's a good one. That's a good one.
All right, let's switch gears to go to a completely different world of gaming. We're going to do Social Deduction.
Oh my, that is quite
From feldy goodness to social deduction with Deception, Murder in Hong Kong. Love this game. Love this game. It's my number 35. It dropped 15 spaces just because so many good games have been pushed at the top of the list. But I love this. This is probably one of my favorite social deduction games. Not my favorite, but one of my favorite social deduction games. I played this recently at BGG. I played this 4 times.
That's fantastic. I gotta be honest, I take this to school, and when we're done with finals and stuff, I've had every single class that I've ever brought this in. I have some smaller classes. I would bring it into the smaller classes, and it's always a hit. And then after that, for the next final, they're like, so, you bringing that game back? Everyone loves, like, accusing each other of murder and I mean, it's just hilarious.
So this is
so good.
So basically, someone is going to be the murderer, and they in front of each player, there's 4 murder weapons and 4 kind of clues left behind, and the murderer is going to pick 2 of the one of the murder weapons and one of the clues secretly, and then there's a forensic scientist who's giving clues to kind of guide the players to who the murderer was and what he used to commit the crime. But the forensic scientist only has clues that he can give. He can't speak. He can't do anything to kind of clue them into what's going on other than the clues itself. And then meanwhile, there's all this arguing back and forth and pointing fingers and trying to guess what's going on. As you get more players, there's new roles introduced. So maybe there's a witness that knows who the murderer is, but he doesn't know the items. And then there's some...
Well, he knows the witness and the...
No, the witness knows the murderer, but not the items.
Okay. Oh, I usually have the murderer and a...
There's an accomplice.
Yeah, accomplice.
Who knows who the murderer is as well.
Yeah.
So there's... With more people, there's more things going on. But at its heart, it's just a simple whodunit, right? And,
that's fantastic.
But the thing is, it's... The murderer is kind of to steer people away from him, obviously, and everyone else is trying to figure out who the murderer is. Just a great little fun, I would say, almost a party game because it encourages interaction.
Oh my gosh!
I love games that if I have a social deduction game or a party game or something like that, it needs. You got to have the interaction and the talking and the laughing and the fun, right? And that this one, I would never pass up a game of this, especially when I look at my card and it says murder. I'm like, oh yes, it's on. I love being the murderer in this game. It's so much fun.
I love the conversation.
It's like but don't look here and look over there.
Yeah. Oh, but I love the discussions too. It's like, is that really considered poison? Can you die by this? I just love those conversations.
That's not poison. That's pills aren't poison.
It's like, what? And then everyone starts arguing about stuff like that, and you're like, oh my gosh.
And you might even have a calendar in your bathroom.
Oh my gosh.
So my number 35, like I don't know if I said it dropped 15 spaces from 20 to 35.
That's still, though.
Deception, Murder in Hong Kong, and there's a brand spanking new expansion about to come out for this, so.
Oh, really?
It introduces new roles and new stuff.
Oh, my goodness. How exciting. I'm very excited. New
roles. From our foray into the social deduction, right back into Euroland with...
Oh, my goodness.
Pillars of the Earth.
Bravo. Bravo. Oh, such an excellent
Pillars of the Earth. My number 34. It dropped from 22, so kind of holding strong. Dropped 12 spaces.
That's not too bad,
It's getting a shiny new reprint soonish.
Go get it when it comes out.
Soonish. This is just a rock solid Euro game. It's
worker placement.
Every time I talk about this game, I always say this is my favorite board in board gaming for 2 reasons. It's a beautiful board and it's super functional. Basically, it's like she said, it's a worker placement game, and it has an interesting way to draft your workers. I won't go too far into it. Basically, you draw a worker out, and you can say, I want to pay a bunch of money to go earlier in the round, or I go later in the round, right? So it's kind of at some point you go, no, it's too much. It's too much. Okay, fine, I'll pay the money to go early, and you put your workers out on the board, and then the board is designed in such a way that all of the action spaces fire off in a particular order, and they're all numbered. So you start from one point of your board and just kind of work your way around the board, and you do the actions as you go through the numbers. So it's just just an awesome game. It's just a really solid worker placement game. If you like worker placement, when this thing is reprinted and you don't have it, you should snatch it up because it is a blasty blast. At its heart, it's a cube pusher. Basically, you're taking certain cubes and you're turning those cubes into victory points. Yes, but it's awesome.
Well, it's kind of got a tech tree.
Ish, yeah. I mean, you're getting more efficient at the cube. When you're drafting, every game you're going to draft some cards, and you're also going to do some actions. And the cards, basically, you may start with a Mason that's crappy. He takes like 3 stone to make a victory point, and then eventually you get 2 stone to make a victory point, and maybe you get to 1 stone to get a victory point. So as time goes by, you upgrade your workers. You have to decide, okay, what point do I want to switch gears and change my workers to something else, or make them more efficient. So, just a great. Awesome, beautiful. I'll show you back of the box here. Show you this. Maybe you can see the board. I don't know if you can, but it's a beautiful board. I guess I could take it out.
You could.
I could take it out.
It's totally worth it. So, I like the fact that you keep track of the turns by building a little church in the middle. Ah!
Oh, give me a break.
Whatever. That's so funny. It's so funny. It's kind of cheesy, but awesome.
Beautiful board. I love the board. Anyway.
Yeah, the board's neat.
My cards are all over the place. Ah!
Oh my gosh, you made it worse. Why? What just happened? I did not.
My 34 pillars up here.
Of the needs reorganized.
Probably. Alright. Onward, and upward because it went up. It went up 2 spaces.
Only 2?
2 spaces.
Okay.
It went from 35 to 33. The game I will never, ever lose.
Oh my gosh.
And this is
supposedly stockpile.
Stockpile.
Oh man, it's gonna happen, guys. Every time I get closer and closer to him.
I
was only a few
never
points away.
lose this game.
Oh man. I'm taking you
And
out.
it's gone up because
we got an expansion.
We got an expansion. Continuing corruption. It adds dice, and who doesn't like dice? So instead of taking random cards,
you roll the dice.
You roll dice and to see what happens with the different stocks.
Do you think that's truer to how the stock market goes?
Well, yeah, it makes it more random. You're not sure. Okay, 3 are going to go up, or 4 is going to go up. 1's going to stay the same. 2's going to go down. One, you don't know specifically what's going to happen.
Yeah.
You know, for the most part, what's going to happen, but you could get with the roll of the dice. You could get a ton of them can go up, or more can go down. You don't know.
Yeah.
You don't know exactly
what's
going to happen. It's not as predictable. And it adds more rolls and stuff like that. It adds bonds, I think. Am I remembering that right?
Yeah. Yes.
It adds bonds as well that you can do. It's kind of a safer investment, but it doesn't give as much money. Anyway,
that can also
great stock market game. It has its card drafting is a good chunk of it. Basically, when you're given a hand of cards and you're placing them on the board, you either place one face up and one face down, so you have information that other people don't necessarily have. Mm-hmm. And then you bid on the different groupings of cards, and there's a cool bidding mechanism, and that basically it's used in a lot of games, but I like it in this one as well. Where if you're outbid, you get bumped and you can replace your worker somewhere else. So,
yeah, that's true.
So it's kind of when you're bidding, you kind of have to go, okay, do I want to kind of bid low and see what happens, or do I want to bid really high to kind of scare everyone off?
Yeah.
And they're not willing to outbid me. Or in some cases, you could build up a portfolio that you're bidding on that's so valuable, you just go max bid right off the bat. It's rare, but you could potentially have a situation where the thing is so valuable that you just max bid immediately.
Yep.
So anyway, just a straightforward stock market game. Stocks go up, stocks go down. You can sell them, you can buy them. I mean, you draft them, and
and the characters. You can play with the individual characters that each have their own superpower.
Yep.
Too. So there's a lot of fun things you can do to tweak the game.
And they're fairly powerful superpowers that the characters.
Yeah. Oh, they all are. They all feel like, wow, this it's one of those few games where I'm like, wow, this could kind of break things, and you're like, wow, that's really good. Oh, this breaks, but they're all pretty evenly good. So it's fun, and it's a stock market game that I like. I know.
Anyway,
good pick.
My number 33, Stockpile.
Excellent game, sir.
My number 32, more Euro. Back to the Euros. We kind of drifted off for a second. Now we're back.
Okay.
And we're back with my number 32, a village.
I'm not surprised by this at all.
Village.
You love Village.
Is an awesome game. I love this game. It is, again, it's another cube pushy type of game, but it's just fun. I like there's so many things going on with it. You have many different areas of the board that you can focus in on. You can do traveling, you can do monastery, you can do town hall stuff, you can do all sorts of different things. Go to the market, sell stuff at the market. It's got a cool mechanism where your workers age and die. So you have like your first generation workers, and they go out and do things, but eventually as time goes by, you have to pull one of the workers off and they die. So you have to kind of strategically, okay, where am I going to put this worker? Because a lot of times when you put your worker on a spot and they stay on that spot, you can do that action of that area every turn. But if it's one of the first generations, they're going to be one of the earlier ones to die. So you kind of got to strategically, okay, do I want to wait until I get my second or third generation worker before I put it in that area?
Yeah.
Because a lot of them have in-game scoring, and if they're not going to survive until the end of the game, then you don't want to put them there, right?
Well, I think what adds a greater depth of the complexity to this, too, is the fact that it's not just about grabbing cubes, it's the certain colors do certain things, too.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So you have to plan, okay, I want to go to that spot, but there's different colored cubes there too. So is it good to go now? Or should I go another time when there's different cubes there? Because it's like a 2-for-1 thing, because you use those cubes as payment for other places, but you're getting kind of a little benefit from going to that place.
Right, and you may even go to a spot that you don't...
Just to get cubes,
just to get the color cube you want, right?
Sometimes those are more important than the spot, easily. And and this one has I love the fact that it's got the little... like the little church, and it's got the way they did the board. I love it because it's got spaces where if you're moving through the church, you're actually moving kind of through the physical building itself, showing as you level up, and it does that. And the traveling, it's got a little mini map in the corner for when you're doing the traveling, you're actually going down a little road and doing some traveling and stuff. It's pretty cool.
And we got the expansions for this. I don't think if it really made it go up, it kind of just held it.
Yeah, it was like it's more goodness of the same kind, right?
Yeah. So
it's not essential to enjoying the game, but if you really like this game, it's worth getting the expansion.
It's cool. More to do. It's definitely more to do.
Super fun.
So that's my number 32. It dropped 14 spots from 18 down to 32. Village.
Well, I think that's pretty awesome, actually.
Yep.
Considering the volume of games, yeah. It's pretty good.
It's time for another Feld.
Yay!
This one may shock you, but we'll see. My number 31 is Macau.
No way.
Yes way.
Really?
Yes way.
Really?
Macau. This is 31.
I know, but what's above it?
There is 1, 2, 3 Felds above this one.
What?
Macau.
Wow.
This is Feldy goodness. It is sadly out of print, but if trends continue...
the 10-year anniversary.
The 10-year anniversary will be in...
What'd you say, 2019?
19.
Okay. So we're holding you to that, Alia Games.
Maybe they'll make it...
whoever...
Ravensburger.
Okay.
Ravensburger is the one that makes the reprints.
Okay, do it. Do it to it, because this is worth it.
So anyway, hopefully it'll come back into print. They'd be crazy not to do this one. If they did Notre Dame and You're the Dragon, I don't know why they wouldn't do a 10th anniversary.
Yeah, Macau's amazing.
But anyway, I got this on the secondhand market. I got a copy because we played it at Dallas Games Marathon. And we loved it, and we bought it, and we loved it. So it's a great one. What I like about it, my favorite thing about this game is that it has a little resource wheel. Yeah. So basically, when we roll dice at the start of each turn, you pick one of those dice. They're many different colors. Mm-hmm. The number of pips on the dice is how many resources you get of that color. But the number of pips in the dice tells you how many turns in the future you're going to get the resources. So when you let's say you pick a green 5, you're going to get 5 green cubes, which is awesome, but you're not going to get those 5 green cubes until 5 turns from now. So you have to go, okay, do I want a couple cubes now or more quickly, or do I want lots of cubes in the future? So you can, if you keep getting large numbers, you can build up. You're going to build up a really massive turn in the future, but it's at the expense of weaker turns in the nearer future, right?
So cool.
So basically, there's kind of two aspects to the game. One part of the aspect, you're kind of building buildings or taking control of buildings, or however you want to say it, in the city. But when you do that, you get a resource. And then the other aspect of the game, you have a little ship that you're traveling around in the bay or in the wherever it's
Water.
at. In the water. In the Macau waterland.
Wow. Oh my gosh.
I don't know what that's the name of the area that it's in.
Macau?
No, the water area. I don't know where Macau is. I'm sorry.
Oh, Lord. There's a map here.
Barcelona? Is it in Spain? Is it in the Mediterranean? I'm gonna say it's in the Mediterranean.
Oh my gosh.
You can correct me later. It has Amsterdam, Hamburg. I don't know what those aren't even in the ocean. I don't know what's going on. But anyway, we went down a rabbit hole. Let's bring it back.
Geography.
But then you take those goods and you drive a boat around to different ports, and then the ports want a certain type of good. So if you go to the port and you drop off goods, you get points that way. It also has another thing I like is that you can buy victory points throughout the game for just cash, but the amount that the victory points cost is different.
Oh
so
my
like
gosh.
one turn you may pay 3 money for 4 victory points. Next turn you may pay 5 money for 9 victory points.
Yeah, it's again a roll of the dice.
And you don't really know how much the next round's going to be. So it's like, okay, do I want to buy now or do I want to hold my money for the next round and hope for a little bit better?
So good.
So point salady goodness, but it has some really cool, interesting mechanisms in it.
Yeah, it does. Good game.
So that's my 31. The last one this time around, it is new to the list, Macau.
And now we're going to go so that I can show Hunter places on a map.
Show me where Hamburg is in the middle of an ocean, and I will believe you. All right, so that's it for this time. Let's look at the next. I always give you a kind of a sneak peek of next time.
Ooh, this is the 20s.
So we're in the 20s. We got 4 new games.
Okay.
4 games that went down.
Okay.
2 games that went up.
Ooh, really?
Why did they go up? I don't know. Neither one of these have a good reason to go up, but they did.
Oh, really?
Yes.
So it wasn't a play thing?
Maybe a place.
I'm guessing plays.
1 game, and this is a rarity on my list. 1 game I do not own.
That is really.
It's in my top 30. We'll let you stew on that one. And we'll see you next time. Bye.